Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Everything has been flipped upside down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And our fingers are crossed that we will see football, but getting teams ready has been a unique challenge for coaches. We want to welcome in Frederick Douglass High School football head coach Nathan McPeek. Thanks, Coach McPeek, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, like I said, asking for me to be on with you and to talk about the Douglas program.
I mean, some challenges though, right? As we're leading up, it took Fayette County a while to figure out when we could even get back to the practice field. Now, how are you guys doing it? You're working in smaller groups and at different times during the day, correct?
Yeah, so our guidelines starting Monday, the 29th, were, we can have pods of 10 kids with one coach. And then you can have 50 going at one time as long as you practice, the social distancing aspect in your pods. We've had to be very creative with that. We're going outside this week only because we cannot get indoors until July 6th using some weight room. So we got creative, in creating our station work, trying to get a little bit of lifting in, obviously conditioning, because a lot of our players, many of them have worked out, over this pandemic in some form or fashion with home workouts or if they have some stuff at their house or when gyms open back up. So it's been a challenge, but most of our kids come back in pretty good shape on Monday. I was really surprised.
Are you optimistic? Whether there'll be fans there or not is another discussion, but are you optimistic that there will be football played Friday nights this fall?
Yeah, and I have to be. I'm a leader of men, of young men in our program that look forward to the game of football. I found out during this pandemic that I don't have a lot of other hobbies besides coaching football. I'm a football junkie. I've been that way my whole life, played it for a long time, coached it. So it hurts me of the prospect of not having it. But at the end of the day, we're going to be positive and nobody's told us no yet. Obviously it's going to be different. 2020 is going to be different for all athletics. I think us as coaches, that's hard to say and hard to do, but we'll do it. We're resilient. Whether that means that we have to shorten some things and maybe, if they have to move the season back and not play a full schedule for us at the high school level, that may be a possibility. But beyond July the 12th right now, we don't have any guidelines. I know the KHSA has to meet on that with the governor's office. So really right now till July 12th for us is just this small group conditioning sessions and do what we can with them in these smaller groups. And then beyond that, we don't really have any guidelines to move forward yet.
So there was a student athlete that tested positive in Russell County and they have suspended activities for 14 days. Are you nervous about that happening?
A little bit. I mean, I'm not really nervous. I mean, I'm also realistic in the fact that, I'm not a scientist, I'm a football coach, but, the prospects of positive cases with the virus are pretty good when they're in all areas of the state now. I believe every county's had one. Obviously the powers that be have to make decisions based upon what they need to with, the safety of the kids. And that's my number one goal as a teacher and a coach is to make sure our kids are safe, number one. But I don't know if that's necessarily the answer either, is to shut everything down like everybody's doing right now. I mean, I know there's a lot at stake, both in terms of, the coaches and the teachers and everybody that's a little older that is instructing the kids, along with the kids themselves and their families and their grandparents. And obviously, we want to be safe, but hopefully, down the road, we'll get a little bit more clarification on what we can and can't do. But I would say that, I'm just realistic with the fact that, when you're dealing with kids and, they're only with us, for example, an hour out of 23 hours a day, we can follow everything we want, but are they doing it? And that's the case for everybody in the whole country. So, when that stuff happens, we'll just have to follow what the protocols tell us to do.
Well, listen, I got a freshman playing for you this fall, so take good care of him.
I will. It's great to have him, and we're really excited about our team this year. Got a really
You
good
should
class,
be.
really good program. So really excited to hopefully get started, and looking forward to seeing what the future holds for Douglas football.
Thank you so much, Coach Nathan McPeek, for being with us on Hey Kentucky.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Much more after the break.